Welcome to the evolution of gaming. This series showcases the development of gaming over the years and accompanies it with interesting facts and knowledge pieces that even you may not have heard of. As always, if you'd like us to cover a specific game, please let us know. Dead Space, 2008. The survival horror game we all know and love, which is set in the year 2508, was originally pitched and developed using the original Xbox engine. Thankfully, the game was fully developed and released on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC instead. Creator Glenn Schofield wanted to make the most frightening horror game he could imagine, drawing inspiration from the Resident Evil 4 video game and films like Event Horizon and Solaris. Dead Space started off with very slow sales, but eventually ended up selling over 1 million copies. The intense atmosphere created from the art design, graphics, and sound led to a boom in popularity. Dead Space Extraction, 2009. Extraction is a rail shooter and is a prequel to the original game. Gameplay involves going through scripted sequences with different characters, using assigned weapons to kill necromorphs by severing their limbs. The idea for Extraction was actually conceived during the development of the original game, but production began in 2008. To create a cinematic experience, the team made extensive use of motion capture for its cast. Although the game was originally released for the Nintendo Wii, it was later ported for the PlayStation 3. Dead Space Ignition, 2010. Ignition is an action puzzle video game that was released for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. The game was part of a larger marketing strategy where it was offered as a free download with pre-orders of Dead Space 2, unlocking a new costume and story content within the game upon completion. Understandably, reception of Ignition was generally negative, with many faulting its art and gameplay compared to the rest of the series. Dead Space 2, 2011. Pre-production began in 2008, immediately following the release of the original Dead Space. The storyline, alongside building upon and expanding the series' lore, focused on Isaac's deteriorating mental state. The gameplay was adjusted based on feedback from players and the team's experience, in addition to making it faster paced and having more of the action elements. Multiplayer was included as a separate mode. On the 27th of July, 3 paid DLC packs were released named Hazard, Martial Law, and Supernova, each containing a themed armor and weapon set. Dead Space Mobile, 2011. This mobile game is a spin-off within the Dead Space series, with the game set after the events of the original Dead Space and prior to the events of Dead Space 2. It shows how the necromorph outbreak began and spread through the Titan Sprawl. The gameplay is similar to that of the original Dead Space game, with most changes centering on adapting the game to play with touchscreen controls. Dead Space 3, 2013. The third and final main entry in the Dead Space series, the story follows Isaac and his allies as they explore the frozen planet to discover the origins of the growing necromorph threat. Initially planned as a horror-focused experience, demands from Electronic Arts resulted in the introduction of more action elements, with the horror themes being toned down and microtransactions being introduced. Classic EA. A downloadable content episode named Awakened was released in March 2013. Developed with the aim of focusing more on the horror elements fans grew accustomed to from previous games. Dead Space Remake, 2023. The Dead Space Remake is scheduled to be released on the 27th of January 2023 for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. It is the first release in the Dead Space series since 2013's Dead Space 3. A decade later, The game will retain the same story and structure as the original, but featured redesigned assets, character models, and environments. The developers intend to take advantage of SSDs on the ninth generation consoles so that it can be absent from loading screens.